Hey, to all of you like me who have been boycotting the NFL these last couple of years, congratulations. We've won. The National Football League today announced a major change in their anthem policy. And to discuss this, I'm really pleased to be joined by a former NFL football player, a Super Bowl champ, Burgess Owens, a retired NFL safety who played for the Oakland Raiders and the New York Jets. He's the author of Liberalism, or How to Turn Good Men into Whiners, Weenies, and Wimps. Burgess, it's an honor to have you with me. Thank you for joining me. The NFL changed their policy today. Give me your take on what they did.
Okay, well, my pleasure, Joe. First of all, I have also joined you with the boycott. So I'm one of those guys that felt the same way you did, and sort of millions of other Americans. Also, just for everybody to know, I just came out this Monday with a new book called, appropriately, Why I Stand: From Freedom to the Killing Fields, of Socialism. So let me just kind of say
by
this.
the way, Burgess, can I interrupt you for a second? Because
yes.
I'm fascinated. As a former NFL football player, what compelled you to boycott?
The same as all other Americans. We care about our country above entertainment, and we want to fight against the ideology that we're all up against right now. And this is the point I like to make, Joe, whenever I talk about this, because we've been blessed to be part of a society that's been founded on Judeo-Christian values. And it's because of those values put in place over 200 years ago, every generation gets better and better at seeing each other inside out, not outside in. We get better at looking at character and content. Up until the last 8 years, we're up against a fight. It's against atheism, socialism, and Marxism. And we're seeing it everywhere. We see it in entertainment. We see it in NFL. And what we're seeing right now with the NFL is what happens when corporatists buy into that ideology of socialism and Marxism. And NFL has given these guys a platform for the last 2 years to put down our flag, to put down our country, to actually drive the narrative that we've been seeing for the last 8 years. Behind the curtains, and this is what people have to understand, these kids are not giving any of the information that we grew up with. They're taught to be anti-American, anti-white, anti-capitalist, anti-family. So So when they come to the NFL, they stand on the sideline with billions of dollars being represented on that sideline. They cannot think about what they can do to make a difference because Marxists don't teach them that. They think about what other people are not doing.
Let me ask you this, Burgess. So the NFL announced today that you can no longer take a knee during the national anthem. If you're on the field, you have to stand. If you can't stand, you've got to stay in the locker room. And if you don't stand on the field, the teams will be fined and there will be other appropriate discipline. Now, you know better than I know, Burgess, why did the NFL make this change?
Well, first of all, understand this is not a change that we all really want to understand and fight for, guys. This is a compromise, and they're still keeping the same issues on the page on in front of us. Understand this. First of all, the NFL that I grew up in, they never would have allowed this to happen. The NBA today, 90% of black that probably agree with what's happened with these black NFL players. The reason why we don't see any demonstration because they made it very clear. There's a red line. This is our company. If you don't want to get fined, you stand and respect our flag. Now, the NFL, on the other hand, has done it for 2 years, have allowed this to happen where we have this conversation. And the fact that these young men can stay in the locker room and demonstrate still says, or they can stay on the sideline and demonstrate and not get fined, the team will get fined, says they really have not addressed this. This is going to be an issue to be talked about for the next couple of years because at the end of the day, the NFL has traded off their great all-American brand for a globalist brand. They have 10 other international countries out there, China and Germany and France, that they're already moving into. They're already talking about doing a Super Bowl in London. So they've already calculated that it's okay to tarnish the all-American NFL brand and give up our American fans because they have this global fan base they're going after. So just to add on to that, realize that the commissioner has a contract of $40 million per year. Only $4 million of that is guaranteed. The other 90% is based on incentives. Well, let me tell you this. If you have Americans tuning off at 9% rate every year. He's not going to meet those that criteria. He has to find international foreign fans, and that's what they're going after right now. So they don't mind giving up, and that's what the left does. By the way, they use, abuse, and discard. And what they're doing right now is discarding American fans.
So Burgess, Burgess, my friend, you don't see this policy change today, fining teams if players don't stand on the field during the anthem. You don't see that making a big difference.
I don't. What I see very simply, first of all, what happens when we don't allow these guys to be accountable for their own actions? Why should a team be fined for a knucklehead player who decides not to stand up? I mean, think about this, guys. You come to a job, they set up parameters, they set a culture, and either you stay tuned into that culture or you're fired. The NFL is saying, you can come here, you can demonstrate by staying in a locker room, which basically, in this city also, it gives a message to our young black boys that's not a good one. These young men that are growing up in families are... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Do you expect, Burgess, do you expect next year that we'll still see players taking a knee during the anthem?
What I expect is that there will be players that stay in the locker room. You might have a few that's going to take a knee, but the conversation will continue to be a relevant one. They'll continue to talk about how oppressed the black race is and how racist the policemen are. And this is going to be going out to the worldwide audience now. So this idea of what America really is all about, the opportunity will not be given, and it will not be given to our kids who need to see it. So no, I don't think this is at all. It's a good thing for America, and I hope our fans understand that these guys are not doing what they should do to make our country first.
Hey, Burgess, give me a quick answer because I'm fascinated listening to you. What percentage of NFL players think like you do?
Not too many, because they've been trained over the last 20 years to be socialists and little Marxists. This is what they've been doing in our communities. They don't see the flag. They don't say a prayer. They don't hear about all the great things. So, no, there's a few of us, but we're making a difference because we're going to make sure these kids get a chance and get in there and help these guys get hope again in our country.
Burgess, you've given me some hope, my friend. Burgess Owens, everybody, retired NFL football player, Super Bowl champ. Burgess, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, my friend, for taking some time and giving us some NFL inside baseball.
This is how we win the game.
Not to mix my sports.
This is how we win the game together.
Absolutely, my friend.
Allow me to come on and we'll make this thing work for sure. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it, buddy.
You got it, Burgess. Thank you, buddy. It's been an honor. Thank you so much. Hey, don't go anywhere. I've got something to tell you again about the state of California. And by the way, can we just get rid of California?